What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. Just like the video yesterday, we're going over a new Augment mod from Citrine's Last Wish update in Warframe. We got the Mesmer Shield Augment for Revenant. This is going to be another pretty much must-run Augment going forward, and we'll show exactly how it works, the mechanics of it, and explain why you might want to be using this if you are a Revenant player. Before we get into it, we will be live with the Destiny 2 Lightfall Legendary Campaign on the live stream channel on the screen right now. So go check it out if you want to. It is fresh content as of today, and yes, I did buy it. Additionally, we'll have some Warframe live streams later this week with the dev stream. Okay, so it's not super easy to show you the Mesmer skin augment since it's meant for your teammate to give them Mesmer skin stacks, but we have some gameplay to show that as well. So the new augment's called Mesmer Shield. So Revenant will receive 50% increased Mesmer skin strength. So that means basically, think of it like a plus 50% strength mod, but only for his second ability, Mesmer skin. Additionally, allies within affinity range are granted a maximum of 5 charges. Now, you can kind of cheese it a little bit and give them 6 charges, but that's using one of Revenant's, long-standing mechanics. If you have your Mesmer skin ability active and you use the Reeve ability and go through an ally, it will give them 1 stack of Mesmer skin. That 1 stack of Mesmer skin from Reeve can stack on top of these 5 to give you 6 stacks on your teammates. They're basically not allowed to die if you're playing this build. And a similar build that I've done before is this, the Tharo Strike build. The footage in the video you'll be seeing today is using this build, Tharo Strike, for fully removing enemy armor. Good for high-level endurance missions. Although Revenant doesn't really need armor removal in lots of cases. So just quickly showing how this works. I think the gameplay will speak for itself a little bit better. So a trick you can do, this is not using the Mesmer Shield Augment. So currently with this build we have 16 stacks of Mesmer skin. We can dash through our companion. They have 1 stack of Mesmer skin. Might be kind of hard to see with the visual effects we have on. So 16 stacks with the Augment. If we were to take off the Augment for, let's say, another Power Strength mod, we're missing Transient Fortitude in that slot. So if I took it off, it would be, let's see, I'm going to guess like 12 stacks? 13 stacks. So you get 3 extra stacks with this build by putting the Augment on. If you were to put another Strength mod, I think we're missing Transient Fortitude, but let's just put on like Augur Secrets or something instead. Let's see how many that would be. I think it's going to be like 1 or 2 stacks. So technically a pretty good bang for your buck. Okay, so we only got 3 stacks of it. Lava is the utility. Lava is the utility of making it so your teammates can't die. So if you're doing a high-level mission and you have somebody like Ash on your team or like another invisibility frame, think about it like this. You are making them invincible and they're invisible. So they're invincible, or whatever word I can think of to explain that one. They are invincible and invisible. If they die, they are just bad, honestly. So here we are just playing Revenant, walking into a bunch of heavy gunners and their turrets. There's literally no way we can die right now unless I like went and made a sandwich right now. So this also works at level like 10,000 too. So proc them up, decide we want to actually start fighting these enemies. And there you go, just attack them with some weapons. If they're an Archon, you could use the Kuva Heck. And yeah, that's just Revenant. I mean, of course we could kill them with abilities too. Just dash through them. Does % health damage. This is just how Revenant is. I mean, you can hardly even die if you wanted to with Revenant if you use a build like this one. So, speaking of which, let's get into some level, I don't think it's level 10,000 gameplay, but it's like level like 2,000 Steel Path gameplay. And I just want to show you this situation. I'm like, how did I actually survive this situation? It's just because I'm playing Revenant. He just doesn't die. So here we are in Void Cascade. I'm surrounded by Thrax and Eximus, but I get out of this scot-free. As you can see on the right side right here, my teammates have Mesmer skin stacks. Hugs for Ducks has 5 Mesmer skin stacks, and it looks like Good Fader just chewed through his Mesmer skin stacks, probably fighting a Thrax. So yeah, they're very tanky with this. It can actually be kind of a troll ability in some situations, like, hey, I'm bugged out, let me die so I can reset my abilities or whatever. But if Revenant's on your team, it's going to take... You could technically never actually die with a Revenant on your team giving you Mesmer skin stacks over and over again. So look at this situation. How did I not die in this? I'm surrounded by... I'm getting sliced by a Thrax Scythe. There's another Thrax doing abilities on me. I've still got tons of stacks, so yeah. Pretty disgusting. But the funny thing is, Revenant is he already did this. So it's basically just making your teammates have this as well. So what I say, is this worth running? In a team situation like this mission, it is extremely nice. I probably will be running this Revenant Augment from now on. And a nice thing as well is since it's affinity range on the Mesmer skin stacks, you don't need to be modding for any more range than you normally would. I like to run a little bit of range in my Tharo Strike build just to make sure I can, because Tharo Strike does need a little bit of range. I like to throw some range on there for Tharo Strike, but for the Roar build, you can just be a selfish Roar build and throw on Mesmer shield or whatever in whatever slot. Look, how did I not die? Look at this. I'm getting like completely destroyed by these enemies, but I'm not getting destroyed enough to actually die. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to go. This is not even the room with the objective in it, so with the next room with the objective in it. So that's what you can kind of expect with Revenant. Keep in mind that I also have Rolling Guard on here as well. Just in case there is some time where my Mesmer skin stacks are down. If you have energy, you will not die. That's pretty much how Revenant works. And even if you don't have energy, find one energy orb and you will not die for like another 15 seconds anyway. So, really nasty stuff there. Now, some other things, some quality of life things to remember here. Mesmer skin stacks between two different Revenants are not going to... Between the Augment is not going to stack. So if I had one teammate with the Augment on, and I also had the Augment on, you would not get more than 5 or 6 stacks if you include the Reeve extra stack. And that's because that would be kind of broken. Additionally, these 5 Mesmer skin stacks will stack on normal Mesmer skin stacks. So if one of my teammates were on Revenant and they had like 10 stacks of Mesmer skin, my 5 stacks of Mesmer skin from the Augment would stack on top of those, and it would prioritize those 5 stacks of Mesmer skin to be taken away instead of the normal Mesmer skin stacks. Okay, so it's just a good thing. It's not going to really ever be a bad thing unless, like I said earlier, your teammate's trying to die on purpose to like undo a bug, and you won't let them. So that's one of the only things I'd say is maybe be questionable. So yeah, as far as Revenant being OP and all that stuff, I do think he is OP. I'm not asking for a nerf, but he's pretty much easier to play than Invisibility Frame for high-level missions, and he's just getting shot by the enemies. I find that insane. If they rework Anaros to be like this, then sure, Revenant won't feel OP, but Revenant doesn't only have his tankiness. As I showed earlier, his Reeve ability is extremely powerful percent health damage, and if you use the Mind Control Enthrall ability on someone, it also does double damage to the enthralled enemy. So you can enthrall Acolytes, you can enthrall not even like mini bosses, main bosses like Til Rigor and all that. So I like him. I've always liked Revenant, and the funny thing is he always helmets off his laser fingers. So that's not really what people are using him for at all. I've used him a couple times with laser fingers, but it's mostly just like an AFK Granum Void kind of build, not really like a serious normal build unless you're doing low level missions. And even then, just using an AoE weapon would probably be faster, honestly. So I'm going to quickly show you the builds I used in this video, like for the weapons, and then we're going to call it, okay? I'm going to see you, hopefully, on stream for Destiny 2 Lightfall very soon. Okay, so we're using the Epitaph, the Glaive Prime, and it looked like the Fenwar in that video. Now, the Fenwar build was just not the best. I probably would have gone like an Elemental build next time. But yeah, the Glaive Prime, this can one-shot level 10,000s, and the Epitaph is using that new secondary Encumber Arcane to get tons and tons of status procs. So, the Revenant build in that footage is going to be... from my old videos, Tharo Strike Revenant, and we had Mesmer Shield on here. You probably could switch off some of those mods, but it worked great. Now, this is the Slash build on my Fenwar I used. Since we had Armor Strip, I probably should have gone like a Viral build or something, but it was lots of Slash procs. My Riven is not the best. I sold my decent Fenwar Riven before. We got Slash, Multi-Shot, minus damage to Corpus. This Prime Fast Hands didn't even feel like it was working, so that could just be something else. But yeah, this can... And also, I probably would have run Dexterity in the future, too. This can kill level 10,000s. Not the fastest, but it can kill them with no Bane mod. Actually, no, there's a Bane mod. It can kill Thrax with no Bane mod, because there's no Bane mod for the Thrax. So that's good. Get some Condition Overload procs on there with the Epitaph, with Secondary Encumber. And yeah, this is just nice. I usually run double Augur mods in here just because certain frames need more shield gating. If your shield gating is all good, put on Fulmination, put on some other status mods, blah, blah, blah. It's totally fine. My Riven is Fire Rate and Multi-Shot. Technically just a second version of Lethal Torrent. And the Glaive build, I usually tell people that don't have a Glaive Riven to go and get one. But yeah, this is a initial combo 3x build with the Glaive. If you don't have this Riven, find something else, I guess. Put on like a Bane mod, I guess, in that slot. If you can fit it on there, and that will make your slash... Probably would be actually more damage than my Riven. I just, sunk cost fallacy. I rolled this Riven a bunch back in the day. And yeah, it's still usable. And then, of course, the Panzer Opophyla is going to be the companion of choice for endurance runs, especially now that Smita is not as important now that they nerfed how much Steel Essence you can turn in. So, yeah. Hope you guys found this video enjoyable and helpful. I will see you on stream very soon, and I appreciate all the support, guys. Go be easy mode with Revenant. Peace.